Imagine this. It's the first day of a new year. Fresh young faces eager to learn. How will you engage these young heroes to be? Will you offer up a moral dilemma? Hit them with a difficult, real-world problem. Bring up a decision about how the class is to be governed. And then, once engaged, what question will you ask next? Will you ask for a supporting opinion or an opposing one? Will you ask the question, why? Or do you have evidence or an example to support your opinion so you can dig more deeply? How will you know when to switch to the next question to keep the discussion energy high? And then finally, how do you bring that discussion to an end? How do you make sure that the lessons learned are so vibrant that they're never forgotten? And how do you set up the next discussion you'll have tomorrow or the next day? Welcome to Survival Strategies for Socratic Leaders, a series of videos to equip and inspire you to become a more powerful Socratic discussion leader. In the next few minutes, I'll introduce the Socratic method. In following videos, we'll explore how to prepare for a Socratic discussion, practical tips for leading a discussion, some suggested do's and don'ts, and a few advanced techniques. Hi, my name's Jeff Sandefer. For over 20 years, I've led Socratic discussions at the MBA level at the University of Texas at Austin, the Acton School of Business, for executives all around the world, and for elementary, middle, and high school age students at the Acton Academy. Now, with all that experience, you may think I consider myself a master Socratic teacher. Far from it. In fact, every time I prepare a discussion, I'll be starting the same place that you do. The only advantage I might have is that I've been doing this long enough that I trust that the young people in the room are far smarter than I am, and if I'll just ask the right questions, I'll learn more than they will. So what is the Socratic method? In essence, it's a way to meld the minds and decision-making power of a group of people with as few as 4 participants and as many as 200. You start with a dilemma, preferably a difficult decision. Your job is to describe the situation in a way that makes each person the protagonist, facing a decision that matters. For example, it may be a moral dilemma. A train is racing down the tracks towards a group of 20 adults. In your hand, you hold the switch that can alter its course. But if you pull that switch, the train will run over one 5-year-old child. Do you pull the switch or not? Or perhaps the dilemma involves a difficult political decision faced by Abraham Lincoln at the time of the Civil War, or an urgent investment decision faced by a young entrepreneur. For example, you are Steve Belkin, a 26-year-old Harvard Business School graduate who has been Mr. Everything in life. Football captain, valedictorian, voted most likely to succeed. But now, your entrepreneurial venture is about to fail. Do you mortgage your house to keep the venture afloat? Or admit defeat and with your tail between your legs, slink back to a corporate job destined for life in a cubicle? Or maybe the issue's even more practical. It's the beginning of the year, and your young heroes are setting up their self-governance. Are they more concerned that some will become tyrants and dictators, or that anarchy and Lord of the Flies behavior will begin? And if so, what will they do about it? Whatever the dilemma, you'll paint a vision of urgency and importance and require each student to vote on a black or white decision, yes or no, up or down, move forward or quit. Then you'll follow up with questions that probe more deeply, or ask a higher level conceptual question to point out how this decision might relate to others. No matter what, you'll follow the energy of the class, staging arguments, listening carefully, finding the questions that excite, and moving along when one topic has been exhausted. By the end, you'll ask for lessons learned, the takeaways that your young heroes want to remember. These may be learned to do-like lessons about the tools and frameworks needed to accomplish something in the real world, or perhaps embedding learn-to-learn habits, learning to analyze, make decisions, communicate clearly, persuade, and listen to other perspectives. Or perhaps there's even a learn-to-be epiphany, the life-changing lessons about character that can become deeply etched into the soul. Before long, like Socrates himself, you'll learn that the wisest discussion leader knows he or she knows nothing, except perhaps how to ask clear questions, to trust the wisdom of the crowd, and by example, pass along the curiosity and rigorous thinking that inspire lifelong learners. Good luck.